dedicate some more time. This is again as far as the drug aspect of it. Manoj Kumar Gupta getting us these details that how radical groups from Bangladesh with the easy availability of weapons from Myanmar are going to procure sophisticated weapons, are actually arming the insurgents in Manipur. There's a bigger plot to also destabilize Bharat. Top intelligence sources have said that recent Bangladesh tension is sufficient to escalate the situation in Manipur currently. Bangladesh-based radical group Jamatul Ansar Fal Hindal Sharkia, a terror group linked to the Al-Qaeda, has come very close ties with the Kuki-Chin National Front. Both Jamaat and KNF are conducting arms training camps in Chittagong Hill Tracts. Earlier, it has also come to the notice that Jamaat and KNF have a written pact for conducting training. The Jamatul Ansar Fil Handal Sharkia agenda is to destabilize Bharat, and right now northeast-based insurgent groups are ready to join with them with the same agenda. The West plot to carve out a separate nation, the drug money from Myanmar to procure weapons, and the radical agenda from the Al-Qaeda-backed group has become a very deadly cocktail to destabilize Bharat. Some serious concerns that the government cannot ignore. Earlier, the Jamatul Ansar Fil Handal Sharkia and also the Kuki-Chin Association came on the radar of attacking government installations in Bangladesh, and some 20 KNF members were actually apprehended with firearms. Indian security agencies say Kuki-Chin Front, backed by Bangladesh radicals, are capable of destabilizing this entire region. Dr. Malab?
Yes. What is the question?
Is there evidence to support this claim, this theory that there could be radical outfits, although contrary to each other in terms of their religious paths, but similar within the agenda, and this is a deadly cocktail that's actually brewing?
No, the elements of foreign elements is very much there. Look at the guns and the ammunitions and the drones and the rockets they are using. Where does they come from? They may be claiming that it's indigenously manufactured, but how can the 3D printers be indigenously procured? How can the detonators of bombs, drones, etc. can be indigenously manufactured? That's one thing. But there is another global aspect starting from as early as 1988, when Joe reunification organizations was floated in 1988. This was the year when the Kuki armed militants have started emerging, and it was around this time that they wrote a letter to the president of America saying that help us in carving out a territory comprising Kuki-Chin Mizo dominated areas in the Bangladesh, Burma, and India. This global aspect of requesting for Western countries in the name of Christianity to seek for solidarity and whatever support, either through the governments or through institutions like church and funding agencies, have been going on since 1988. This is what I want to point it out.
Right.
And I'm sure it doesn't end there. They were only waiting for the time to garner their strength, military power, and the situations to carry out military insurrections. Before that, they remain submissive to the systems, be part of the system, manipulate the systems, misuse the systems to expand their agenda, increase their population, intensify territorial control, carry out drug trading, poppy cultivations to collect race funds to procure more arms. But when the situation is ripe, then military preparations has been underway from 1988.
Right.
And luckily, they took advantage of the leniency shown by the Indian state under the terms quote-unquote suspension of operations, which clandestinely began in 2005 and then formalized in 2008. They are making use of such leniency being shown by the government of India to prepare for a military strength to wage war against India. I'm telling you again, this is not a conflict between Meiteis and the Kukis alone. I'm saying it's the conflict between Kuki terrorists and the concerns of the nations, the India. It is threat to the national security.
So you're saying it's not just an ethnic fight, there is also this entire secessionist agenda which is going to hurt India overall. Arun Anand?
Yeah, see, Anand, there are three main aspects of this whole issue. One is that, if you look, there is a common pattern. The common pattern is, and this is not on, and it is happening on all the border states, whether it is Punjab, whether it is Kashmir, whether it is Northeast. That is change the demography, create local conflict, pump in drugs, and then use narcotics also to smuggle the arms. And drones are being used everywhere to drop the drugs and the arms. And just and there are four players basically who are indulged in this. One is of course ISI in Pakistan. Second is China. It's state spy agency MSS, Ministry of State Security. The third one is the Western Deep State, which works through church in the northeastern. There is a credible evidence with the agencies also, which works through church basically and through Christian communities in northeastern states. And the fourth one now, the new player which has entered is Bangladesh.
Right.
So this is overall the situation. So it's not only related to though we are focusing on Manipur right now, but if you look at Arunachal Pradesh, there is a tribal versus non-tribal tensions are building up there also. Look at Nagaland. Look at other places. Look at Assam basically. There is migrant versus non-migrant issue, which is so. It's a common pattern basically which is emerging everywhere. So I think it needs to be looked at from this national security perspective, as you rightly pointed out.
Right. Ankita Datta?
Yes, see, way back in October 2022, the Bangladeshi army and the security forces had launched a massive crackdown, which was followed by a major military operation against the Kuki-Chin National Front, KCNF. Which is based in the Chittagong region of Bangladesh. Now, this KCNF, it is involved in a long-standing plan to establish a separate Christian state in the region. And in order to hide its actual agenda of establishing a Christian state, leaders of the KCNF have joined hands with several Bangladesh-based Islamic terror outfits, and reportedly it was providing weapons, bomb-making equipments, shelter and training in the hilly areas of Bandarban to this outfit called Jamatul Ansar fil Hindal Sharqiya, which was established in 2018. As you said, it is supported by the Pakistan-based AQIS, that is the Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent, and the Bangladesh chapter of the Harkatul Jihad al-Islami. This organization, Jamatul Ansar fil Hindal Sharqiya, which is also commonly known as the Sharqiya group, it is trying to establish its base in the CHT, Chittagong Hill Tracts region of Bangladesh with military aid and support from the Kuki-Chin National Front, which is a very, very dangerous development that has wider implications for Northeast India. The Assam Rifles has confirmed the dangerous links between the KCNF and this Sharqiya group several times in the past. And kingpins of this Islamist group, Sharqiya group, it was reported that they wanted to buy lands and carry out militant activities under the garb of agricultural farms in several areas of Bangladesh and the border areas of Northeast. They were also planning to lure local residents towards religious conversion and facilitate training of new recruits in the Chittagong region. And that is why, for this mission, the organization had established secret connections with several leaders of the Islamic fundamentalist movement, Tablighi Jamaat.
Right.
So the relations between the KCNF, that is the Kuki-Chin National Front, and the Jamatul Ansar fil Hindal Sharqiya, they are purely strategic. The KCNF is using the Sharqiya group for spreading terror-related activities within the targeted hilly areas of Bangladesh and India, and also the Arakan state of Myanmar, so that they can achieve their real agenda of establishing a separate Christian state by disintegrating and dividing lands belonging to Bangladesh, Bharat, and Myanmar. And once such a vicious plot is materialized, Western powers would have access to this entire region. They can ride on their plans of a Christian state, which they could then use as their own vassal state. So this is a serious threat to the national security of India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar.
But the amount of resources, the money they have, G. Sri Kumar Menonji, and the final aspect on this story, 60,000 crore reportedly is the drug economy there in that region, whereas the state budget is 35,000 crore. Now, how do we do that? Look at the kind of arms, weapons, everything. 18,000 plus hectares of land of poppy cultivation has been destroyed, but they still are armed to the teeth. And they still, that entire area is still flourishing in the drug trade.
Anand, their money comes from methamphetamine trade and yaba trade. It is not opium. Opium because it's only a raw material and a plant-based product. But the synthetic drugs, methamphetamine, crystal methamphetamine and yaba, they are the main source of their income, number one. Number two, India was warned by the UNODC as early as 2022 that there is a dangerous drug situation brewing there. But maybe, I don't know, we took it lightly. And between July 2022 and July 2023, in the span of 1 year, Manipur police, they have seized about 127 million US dollars worth of drugs.
Wow.
That is, really mind-boggling, and I think we are underplaying the situation. And this religious angle which has come in is also very, very dangerous. I don't know how we are going to tackle it because the Christian angle has come in. The Muslim angle also is there because Bangladesh is also going to get affected, as Sheikh Hasina was pointing out. But it's a very dicey situation, and how we are going to respond is a very big problem. Meanwhile, the Chinese are also coming with the China-Myanmar corridor.
Right.
And they are seeking an ingress into the Indian Ocean. So that is another added dimension. I think the government needs to really beef up the entire Northeast security apparatus because we have got 1,600 kilometers. It is just not Manipur. 1,600 kilometers traversing more than 4 states. So unless we have a comprehensive plan to, take care of the situation, we are going to be in a very deep soup because we can't keep on battling all over. It's going to be a very big situation for the government of India.
Well, on the one hand, great thinkers had said religion is the opiate of masses, but right now the entire opioid business is using religion to totally corrupt and divide the masses. So that's the irony of the things, how they are turning out, and quite a dire and serious situation. Internal security, national security, integrity, ethnicity, and of course the entire aspect of the cultural significance and relevance of that entire region. Everything is under question. To the lady and the gentleman, thank you very much. Very engaging, informative conversation that we've had. I'm going to request Ankita Datta and Arun Anand to stay on with us. G. Srikumar Menon and Dr. Malam, thank you. Thank you for joining us here on The Right Stand. Quickly moving on, ladies and gentlemen. It's another CNN News 18 mega exclusive. There are attacks on Hindus which are not exaggerated as the interim government head had stated. What Mohammad Yunus had said that you are exaggerating. He blamed Bharat for exaggerating this, saying they're largely political and not communal. But intel sources have told CNN News 18 that more than 1,000 attacks on minorities have been reported. In fact, a Bangladesh national daily itself has reported more than 1,065 attacks. Attacks majorly on Hindus, Christians and Ahmadiyas who have also not been spared. Bangladesh's leading paper, Pratham Alo, reported 1,068 attacks on minorities between the 5th of August and the 20th of August. 20th of August. Attacks on minorities took place across 49 districts. 49. They had reportedly said it's limited to only 29, but this is the number that the newspaper or the daily is reporting in Bangladesh. 49 districts. Hindus mostly attacked post Hasina's departure. Hindu houses, businesses and places of worship have been targeted, and the attacks were mostly in the Khulna district of Bangladesh. The statue of Mother Mary was damaged in the Nijpara mission in Thakurgaon. Even missionary schools and colleges were on the radar of violent radicals. Even an Ahmadiyya mosque was burnt down, and there are very disturbing visuals of the same that we have accessed here at CNN News 18. Those are some of the visuals. Dr. Ankita Datta and Arun Anand with us. Arunji, your take on what's happening in Bangladesh and why it should concern us. Nobody is using the hashtag Bangladeshi Hindus. All eyes were on Rafah. There were Black Lives Matter, that everybody took a knee down for George Floyd. But what about Bangladeshi Hindus? Many are asking this question. Why is this being blanked out?
I think that has been the plight of Hindus, across the world. It's not only, look at even, Pakistan when something happens. So there are no eyes on, minorities in Pakistan. But let's talk about Bangladesh. See, Bangladesh, I have a slightly different take. I think it's not an immediate issue. I think, the whole of East Bangladesh, it has largely been basically, the sentiment, the anti-Hindu sentiment has been there since early 20th, century. The latest, data which shows the first riot, major riot which happened was an aftermath of, the Bengal divide in 1905 or 1906, and it went on for 18 months. It was in Singh. And after that, the whole and two-thirds of the Muslims in India were residing in, the pre-partition Bengal. And this whole concept of Pakistan also basically emerged from the East Bangladesh because Muslim League was set up there. So communalism, anti-Hindu sentiment, what I want to say, is deeply rooted in the demography of, and in the culture of whatever you call culture, or, I shouldn't call it culture, but the overall, the social structure of East
Right.
Bangladesh has been such, and we have been actually basically, been brushing under the carpet. After 1971 also, if you look at from 1905 to 2024, there has not been even a single year where there has been no communal riot, and where
Right.
Hindus have not been targeted, not even a single year.
Right.
But we have been brushing it under the carpet. And of course, the Awami League government, it was doing much better than, the previous governments. It had banned Jamaat-e-Islami. But right now, I think the crux of the problem is that Pakistan has moved in. The Western deep state has,
Right.
moved in. ISI has taken control of Bangladesh, and through Jamaat, basically, especially, it is specifically targeting. Jamaat has a record of being, anti-Hindu. So through Jamaat, and Jamaat also came into existence in, early 1940s, and since then, whether it is, Kashmir, or whether it is Bangladesh, or whether it is Pakistan, they have been consistently anti-Hindu. So again, I think we need to look at it in a greater historical context.
Right. Ankita Datta?
Yes, so Bangladesh, there is violence against Hindus, all because of their Hindu identity, and this crisis can easily lead to the rise of an Islamist regime there, which will naturally see an increase in the powers of these Islamic fundamentalist groups like the Jamaatul Ansar, the Sharqiya group, which is working hand in gloves with Kuki militant organizations such as the KCNF, based in the Chittagong Hills, in terms of finances and training. So obviously, an Islamic Bangladesh will lend them more support to their bases and to expanding their activities in the country. And this might also see a greater involvement from Mizoram, since the government of Mizoram has been working upon continuously to create this unique Kuki Chin Mizo identity for establishing a separate Christian Kuki nation. And exactly for this reason, it has been allowing illegal Kuki immigrants, particularly the militants of this Bangladesh-based Kuki Chin National Front,
Right.
to settle in their territory. And selective targeting of Hindus in Bangladesh, this is nothing but a stark manifestation of Hindu hatred, I would say. Multiple assaults on the Hindu identity in multiple countries, in multiple platforms, including social media, all at the same time, they have been always going on so casually and in such a manner that it now seems to have become completely normalized.
Right. Right. Ankita Datta, Arun Anand, thank you for your time. We got to take a short break and pause this conversation, but we'll continue to turn the spotlight on this region. There is a lot that's brewing in, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to, take a higher up overall 30,000 feet view, overall macro view of what's happening in